Hello. So I've just finished my second week of work experience, and this has been a very beneficial week for me, I think. At the end of last week, I mentioned that I wanted to try and put myself in more networking positions, try and socialize more, make sure people know who I am. And I think I've done a fairly good job of that this week. I made sure to hang around in the gatherings that happen after the shows are finished and make sure to chat to as many people as I can. I ended up talking to a woman called Fiona who is doing a show for the college at some later stage in September, but we got chatting about the company that she works for, and she says, yeah, I think you'd be a really good fit, actually. You should think about contacting them. And so just by taking an interest in what she does, I've managed to not only secure a contact that might help my employability, but I've also got a new contact in the industry, hopefully a friend in the industry that I can hopefully work with in the future. So I think that's really beneficial. Even just something as simple as sharing my work around has gotten me more contacts as well. There was someone, a journalist, that I showed a voice dub to, one of the voice dubs we did with Yvonne, and they were very impressed. And they says there are people I know that work in children's animation, or that they might want you at the BBC, which is a big jump, of course, but I got these contacts, I got some links and emails to follow through on, and I think the appropriate action here would be to research into these different places, and then if they are beneficial to my career, which at this early stage they probably will be, contact them. There was also a meeting called about the Next Community project, which was held by Juliet and the assistant director, who was called Misha. And I made sure to go there because I am passionate about these projects. This is the second time working on one now. And I want to hopefully let them know by being there that I do care and I am enthusiastic about this work. And so hopefully that was picked up on. I try and present myself as someone who is enjoyable to work with and is friendly, hopefully. Hopefully that's how it was received. So the show is finished now, Sovereign is over, and this has been a massively beneficial experience. It's the first time I've ever done a run quite as long as this. 2 weeks it was, which I think the closest I've ever had to that is 1 week from Coppergate Woman. Usually on courses you get maybe 2-3 shows if you're lucky. So there's been a lot of learning happening in that time. I've continued to try and recreate the work every single night and find something new in it. I think that's what keeps it interesting, and you have to do that as a skill in that, to constantly be building and refining things every single night. I think the last thing you want is to go out there and just feel like you're going to give a dead performance, because at that point you're not going to be engaging, and you need to keep that soul alive. I have a lot of respect for understudy roles and people who are doing 2 or 3 shows a day. People in panto massively respect and understand closer what they're dealing with and what actually the expectation for me is when I will go into the industry, because this is the work I will enter. And so I need to know how to conserve my energy and be prepared, over prepared even, for these situations, so that I can go on calmly, composed, and deliver the best work that I can. A constant note I've had over the year is that I need to let the work settle more. It's an acting note I've received time and time again, and in doing this 2-week run, I think it's got to a point where the blocking feels so routine that I don't think about it. And so I can just live in that world, and I can have the thoughts, and they won't be the same every night. They don't need to be pre-planned thoughts. I just live. And that is such a freeing feeling, the feeling of going out and not actually working, but just being. That is the core, I think, of what acting should be, I hope, because it feels great to do. I've made sure to plan a meeting with Juliet to talk about my progress over Sovereign and what she thinks about my attitude, my professionalism, and I will also be starting my Play in a Week workshop with Julian for the Theatre Royal, so that'll be a whole other experience. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to try and come and be enthusiastic and engaging and just see what happens, roll with the punches. So I think it's very exciting.